Do you ever feel like you're speaking a different language than everyone else? Imagine understanding people on a deeper level without them ever saying a word. Imagine walking into a crowded room and feeling an energy shift, a tension that nobody voices, yet you know it's there. Have you ever just known something was off in a room, even when no one said a thing? These uncanny moments are everyday life for INFJs, the intuitive empaths of the MBTI world. They experience the world as a silent symphony of unspoken signals. Every glance, sigh, and nuance in the air is like a musical note telling a story. This video explores how INFJs tune their inner radar to decode that unspoken music. The silent symphony of subtlety. INFJs are hyper-attuned to subtleties. They notice the tiny cracks between words and tones, a trembling voice, a bead of sweat, a forced smile. In psychology, this trait is linked to high sensitivity. INFJs absorb more information, both conscious and unconscious, and are more aware of subtleties and small changes in their environment, such as temperature, mood, or someone's body language. In other words, they hear the music hidden behind silence. Cinematically, you might see an INFJ at a dinner table intuit the tension between friends long before a word is spoken. Scientists studying sensitive people find that their brains process emotions more deeply. They often feel others' moods as if those feelings were their own. For example, a slight frown or an offhand shrug, cues most people miss, could be a loud alarm to an INFJ. It's as if their nerves are microphones, picking up frequencies others don't even know exist. This silent symphony of subtle body language and energy underlies the INFJ experience, an orchestra of unspoken communication that they can intuitively play in their mind. The INFJ's internal radar, Ni plus FE equals emotional sonar. How do they do it? INFJs rely on two powerful cognitive tools: introverted intuition, NI, and extroverted feeling, FE. Think of Ni as a telescope into the future and beneath the surface, and Phi as a social magnet that senses others' emotions and values. Together, Ni plus Phi work like an internal sonar or radar system. Researcher Dario Nardi used brain imaging, EEG, to study thinkers and feelers. He found that Ni-dominant people, INFJ/INTJ, actually light up their whole brain when trying to solve an unfamiliar problem. It's like all regions of their cortex are firing to piece together a puzzle. Nardi likens it to the fable of blind men describing an elephant. One feels the trunk, says tree. Another feels the tusks, boar. Another the leg, table. Only by combining perspectives do they see the elephant. In the same way, an INFJ's NI intuitively gathers disparate clues, a quiver in a friend's voice, the way someone crosses their arms, and converges on a single solution or feeling. That knowing you sometimes get without logical reason is Ni doing its quiet work behind the scenes. Phi, on the other hand, is tuned to the social wavelength. Brain scans show that people who lead with FE, including INFJs, have heightened activity in brain areas loaded with mirror neurons. For example, region T5, right temporal lobe, is sensitive to others' emotional input and literally contains cells that mirror others' feelings. Another area, F7, the imaginative mimic, also has mirror neurons that help us put ourselves in someone else's shoes. Nardi even calls it the brain's Star Trek holodeck. Using these mirror neuron regions, a skilled Phi user can build rapport and unconsciously simulate what someone else is feeling or thinking. Picture an INFJ like a submarine equipped with sonar, NI, and telepathy, FE. The Ni sensor pings off the hidden patterns and possibilities in the environment. The FE empathic sonar picks up the emotional waves radiating from each person. With these combined, the INFJ feels the room at a level no one else perceives. Real-world decoding, micro-expressions, body language, tone in practice, INFJs become human lie detectors and mood meters. They train their attention on micro-expressions, those ultra-brief flashes on the face revealing hidden emotions. Dr. Paul Ekman, the psychologist who pioneered facial expression research, explains that micro-expressions last only a fraction of a second and unconsciously display a concealed emotion. They occur in everyone, even if we don't notice. Ekman says, "The face offers us the best window into the emotional lives of others." An INFJ instinctively reads that window, a smirk melting into sadness, a tight smile exposing fear, a sudden blink of doubt, all register instantly. Micro-expressions, a forced grin, a brief tightening around the eyes, an INFJ will catch it. These micro cues leak true feelings that words hide. Body language, noticing crossed arms, a shifting posture, hands trembling. INFJs see these tells as part of the unspoken story. Personality research finds that feeling types like INFJs are far more likely than thinking types to unconsciously mirror other people's gestures and posture. Mirroring is a form of empathy, so if your partner slowly slumps, an INFJ might unconsciously lean forward, mirroring the sadness. Tone of voice, INFJs tune in to vocal undercurrents. A friend might say, "I'm fine," in a flat or forced tone. An INFJ hears the discrepancy between the words and the music behind them. Each of these real-world cues is like a thread. The INFJ weaves them together into a coherent picture. She's not okay, he's hiding something. The movie-like journey through others' emotions happens without dialogue. Energetic and emotional contagion. Beyond faces and postures, INFJs are attuned to the energy in the air. They feel the mood or vibe of a group almost physically. This is the phenomenon of emotional contagion. We instinctively catch each other's feelings like a cold. Studies show that when someone smiles at us, our brains automatically respond in kind. We feel like smiling too. We align ourselves with others' emotions without thinking. For an INFJ, this is amplified. Walking into a tense meeting or joyful celebration, they sync up with that emotion. Neuroscience offers a clue. Mirror neurons allow our brains to simulate other states. One study explains that when we observe someone's emotional expression, our mirror neuron system can recreate a similar brain state, providing an automatic share of their experience. In other words, INFJs quite literally feel a bit of what other people feel. They might call it being a sponge or being in tune. If someone in the room is anxious, the INFJ feels a tingle of tension. If joy erupts nearby, their heart lifts. This energetic empathy helps INFJs navigate social situations. They literally smell when the emotional air changes. The burden of awareness. Empathy. Burnout with great sensitivity comes a great burden. Being acutely aware of every undercurrent is exhausting. Research on highly sensitive people shows they can experience overstimulation much faster than others. Too much noise, too many faces, too many feelings at once. It's like tuning 10 radios at once. One INFJ blogger captured this. INFJs continuously absorb the emotions of those around us, sometimes to the point where we feel on the verge of bursting. If a stranger on TV is sad, the INFJ is sad. If friends argue, the INFJ feels the pain on their behalf. It's as if they have little feelers into everyone's heart. This leads to what we might call empathy burnout. They can become drained or even ill from the emotional overload. In crowds or meetings, an INFJ might suddenly retreat to a quiet corner or put on headphones, needing to disconnect and recharge. It's validating to know this isn't weakness, it's biology. Studies note that sensitive people's brains react more strongly to others' emotions, so when someone else feels deeply, the INFJ's brain mirrors that intensity. Often they recognize in themselves the very feelings they picked up, and that can be confusing. Whose feelings are whose? This can lead to boundaries collapsing. INFJs will readily take on others' problems. I'm feeling it for both of us, which over time can fray their spirit and even their health. Mastering your message, using the gift with care. The good news? INFJs can learn to master their silent symphony. First, by protecting their energy. Setting boundaries is key. Just as the body needs rest, an INFJ needs emotional quiet. Scheduling alone time, saying no when needed, or escaping to nature can reset their sensors. They might imagine an emotional filter, allowing empathy to flow in, but also flow out. Second, by honing communication. The INFJ's gift is also a superpower for connecting and influencing. For example, if they sense a friend is upset, speaking up kindly, "You seem different today, want to talk," can bring that unspoken worry into the open, often relieving it. Using their insight, INFJs can say exactly the right thing, praising someone who's feeling insecure, or tactfully addressing conflict that others miss. When they voice what they see, "I feel that you're hesitant," people often feel heard and understood. It turns the silent melody into shared song. Finally, by channeling insight creatively. Many INFJs find art, writing, or activism where they express the feelings they sense in others. Poetry, music, or persuasive speeches become outlets for the undercurrents they perceive. It's as if they translate the unspoken into powerful action or art. Here are some ways INFJs can use their nonverbal intuition. Set healthy boundaries. Acknowledge when you're feeling overstimulated and give yourself a break. Validate and speak the unsaid. Use your insight to comfort others. It seems like you're feeling. Channel creativity. Draw, write, or speak about the patterns you see. It helps process and illuminate those feelings for everyone. Bonus, lessons for non-INFJs tuning in. What if you're not an INFJ? You can still learn from them. Think of the INFJ as a master teacher of emotional awareness. Here's how anyone can try to attune to the silent symphony. Observe in silence. Next time you talk to someone, do a scan. Notice their facial micro movements, the tone of their words, the set of their shoulders. You'll be surprised how much nonverbal information you pick up. Practice empathy. Try to mentally mirror what others feel. If a colleague seems distracted, imagine what might be worrying them. Scientists say our brains are wired for this. It's called the shared manifold of mirror neurons. Everyone has a bit of this capacity. Walk in others' shoes. Daniel Goleman, the emotional intelligence expert, defines EQ partly as sensitivity to others' concerns and the ability to act on that knowledge. You can do this. A kind question or a supportive gesture can create connection without a word. By tuning into these cues, anyone can improve relationships and avoid misunderstandings. Even small steps, listening fully, making eye contact, noticing a friend's fidget, start you on the path of deeper understanding. Listen to the unheard. In a world buzzing with noise, INFJs remind us that the loudest symphony is often the one we don't hear. Emotions, moods, unspoken truths, they're all playing a tune out of earshot for most, but crystal clear to the sensitive heart. So pause, breathe, open your inner ears to the unsaid. Try noticing the slight slump of someone's shoulders, the brightness in a stranger's eyes, the shift in the room's energy when one person walks in. These are the silent notes of human connection. Have you ever just felt something no one said out loud? Share your story below. Maybe like an INFJ, you've heard the unspoken music once or twice. Listening is learning, and there's a whole symphony waiting to be discovered in the space between words.